that you can use that are from the open source community are really best of breed in terms of the kinds of support that they bring. Things like Hibernate, Spring really provide top technical capabilities to do software development in a Java platform. And then the other really good thing about them is that they can be used in most, if not all, proprietary environments. So Spring, Hibernate plays just as well in IBM's WebSphere as it does in Apache Tomcat.
Source Allies employees are big fans of open source because in today's business market, if you're not using open source, you're already behind the times. And if you use proprietary frameworks or if you use closed source frameworks, your job becomes much more difficult. Open source software, if something's not behaving as you expect it to, you can go into the source, you can look at it yourself, and you can figure out, oh, here is why it's not working.
When the time has come to apply a custom solution, we have access to the source code, and we have a right to modify that source code, unlike a lot of commercial closed source projects. Say, for example, I wanted to write a custom authentication layer for one of my web applications. With Tomcat, I could download the source code for Tomcat, I can look at the Realm implementation and see how they implemented it. I can write my own and plug it in. With WebSphere, I have to deal with IBM Corporate. I have to figure out how to use a trust association interceptor, which is completely proprietary. Maybe I'm lucky I can find someone out there who has dealt with it before. Whereas with open source, I can jump onto 25 forums, 25 blogs, and get 25 good answers. When it comes time to look at a piece of software that's giving us trouble, the source is available, so we don't run into black box scenarios where we don't know where the problem is. It could be a configuration parameter. We can actually download the source, we can attach a debugger to it, and we can step through it and see what's going on with the internals of the software.
There's not a lot of marketing, not a lot of hype. The only way it gets out is through word of mouth and through people's recommendations because the software is good. Where with a comparable non-open source project where you can have substandard tools and substandard support as long as you have a great marketing team that once a product's purchased, typically you don't go away from it. Since open source doesn't have those benefits of the marketing side, their product has to be done much better.
Applying mentoring is different for every client. Some clients are looking for that additional helping hand, other clients are not. So accordingly, when we go into a client, we will try to take inventory of what the technologies are within the company that we're going to be working with and helping with, and what the knowledge levels are of the folks we're going to be working with on the project. And then based upon that information, we will work in a collaborative manner with management and the people who would benefit from the training to come up with a program or procedure to provide that training. For example, at a current client, we're working with the Hibernate ORM, and there's no experience internally with that piece of software. So we are developing a classroom. We have a classroom setting available to us with computers. We're going to actually set up a work environment or a lab where we can go through several Hibernate projects or processes. Another tool that they have worked with is JSF. We're working with JSF, so we can, in that case, provide best practices and recommendations for these folks to use in their day-to-day exercises. And we listen to their feedback because even though they may not know what we know, something they know can benefit us in the end too, so we make it a two-way street.
What's key to mentoring is communication. You know, it's one thing to be an experienced developer and to know a lot about Spring or know a lot about Hibernate, but that knowledge can only go so far. It's limited by how many hours the person that knows that can work in a day. But if the person can communicate clearly, and to go even a step further, if not only can they communicate how to do things clearly, if they can help other people along the path so that they will gain from that developer's experience, that'll help take the organization to the next level. We do this by leading sessions, and we sit with them one-on-one, and we go over specifically how we do things, how we write our code, how we utilize frameworks, how we configure things, how we make things reusable, and we'll help get the client off and running much faster. what's key to leaving a lasting impression and having an impact on an organization is not bringing in the latest framework or the latest language or some latest technology. It's taking what the organization already has and maybe helping to improve that, or maybe finding some new piece that we can plug into that to help not only reuse the existing developer's knowledge at that client, but also help improve it, because at the end of the day, the client is going to be the one maintaining that software, whatever that happens to be.
The approach is really very much a hands-on approach. Actually be involved in the work and not just sort of talk about things and lecture. And we are doing things. We need to be able to articulate very well why we've made the choices that we have, and when we're talking to other people, we need to be able to explain to them, and mentoring people, we need to be able to explain to them why it is that we are suggesting and encouraging that they do things in a particular way. I think primarily Source Allies brings a number of things to the table. First is we've worked extremely hard to hire only top-notch technical people. Within our staff, we have different levels. We do have people who are very much senior, have leadership capabilities as well as technical abilities. And then we also have younger staff members who are, or perhaps have a little less experience, who are still very solid from a technical perspective and can help fill critical roles in certain projects. But we also bring a strong understanding of a core stack of open source development frameworks, and not only an understanding of how of those frameworks, but the ways in which to use those frameworks effectively.
Well, Source Allies is a different game. We have the best people, and there's no one who could argue that point. We also have the people who seem to care more about software and developing pure, clean, bug-free software that companies can depend on for years to come. They can base their business on it. They can count on it. Additionally, we bring a positive attitude into the business. We come in, we're excited about what we're doing. Additionally, you won't have someone come in who will develop something that you are unable to support. We're very careful about how we hand out software to make sure that the business is in a better position after we leave than before we got there. Additionally, we will take the time to learn your internal business so that we can come up with the best solutions that meet your needs, not some blanket solution that we apply across all our clients.
Source Allies can help significantly decrease both the cost in terms of time and the cost in terms of manpower and dollars of project. I mean, we've got many people here that are already gelled. They already work together. They already know one another's style, know one another's personality, and add on top of that the tremendous amount of open source experience that we have. So really, we have a lot that we can bring to a project in the form of a faster code output, in the form of lower curve for technology adoption, and also when it comes to just getting things done.